Freedom Journal of 1827. This is the first black newspaper, black-owned newspaper, and it said that we wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. Too long has the public been deceived by misrepresentations in things which concern us dearly. I'm going to take a moment and look at that. We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. Too long has the public been deceived by misrepresentation in things which concern us dearly. What was happening in that time is we wasn't, as black people, we were free, but we wasn't being represented well. Freedom Journal, their first print in 1827, literally said, we wish to plead our own cause. And that simply means that we are going to tell our stories. Nobody else is going to tell who we are and what we do. Nobody else is going to depict who we are and what we do. Their form of what they see us as will no longer be the only thing that's written on paper. So we have to tell our own stories. We have to show others what is happening.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, man? Look, I'm back. And we got some stuff to talk about. Yeah, we definitely got some stuff to talk about. I'm gonna just get straight to it. So this is what nobody talking about. I actually I didn't go live. So on my Facebook, Shantae Darby Facebook, I actually made a post about this, and it just simply says that we are not talking about the fact it's election. Like, we are 41 days from a major election in this state, and quiet. Now, you might be saying, like, election. Like, how does that affect me? Bruh, that joint affect everybody, especially the smaller elections or the gubernatorial elections, the elections that basically mainly people don't talk about. So right now we gonna start this whole thing with a message from Good Trouble, the late honorable Senator John Lewis. So let's run that clip.
Here in Charlotte, North Carolina, a young African American tried to get a shoe shine at the Greyhound bus station. He was arrested and taken to jail. On that same day, we traveled to Rock Hill, South Carolina, about 25 miles from here. When my seatmate Albert Bigelow and I tried to enter a white waiting room, we were met by an angry mob that beat us and left us lying in a pool of blood. Some police officers came up and asked us whether we wanted to press charges. We said no. We come in peace, love, and nonviolence. We said our struggle was not against individuals, but against unjust laws and customs. Our goal was the true freedom for every American. Since then, America has made a lot of progress. We are a different society than we were in 1961. And in 2008, we showed the world the true promise of America when we elected President Barack Obama. A few years ago, a man from Rock Hill, inspired by President Obama's election, decided to come forward. He came to my office in Washington and said, "I am one of the people who beat you. I want to apologize. Will you forgive me?" I said, "I accept your apology." He started crying. He gave me a hug. I hugged him back, and we both started crying. This man and I don't want to go back. We don't want to go back. Brothers and sisters, do you want to go back? Or do you want to keep America moving forward? My dear friends, your vote is precious, almost sacred. It is the most powerful nonviolent tool we have to create a more perfect union.
All right. Let's unpack that. So we had Senator John Lewis literally talk about his personal struggle in trying to get the Voters Act movement passed. And we all know the story. Our fathers and grandfathers and everybody, during the civil rights movement, it was a fight, even to the death, or near dying, for us as blacks to even have the right to even fight, to even vote. So, I want to make sure that we understand, that this is a privilege, but a essential privilege. So let's get into it, even more. Why is it so hard for us to, really, did we lose somewhere where we forgot how important it was? Or because we didn't physically fight for this right, we just don't think about it? Or, again, this kind of goes back to the research I did when I was doing the documentary, Use Your Voice, one of the things that in my research, I found that our trust for the elections is very low. I want to see if I can pull up that those documents or some of the responses I got when I did that documentary. Don't pull it up yet, bro. But in the meantime, who I got on here? I see only one person. Y'all don't want to talk about this voting thing, ain't but one person watching. Y'all don't want to talk about these elections. See, the elections is what affects your everyday life. Believe it or not. Like, we talk about the presidential election, and that's the most popular because the message has to go to a wide spread of people. You're talking the entire country. But when the president make a rule, it's very seldom that a president make a rule and it affects your life like right then. Honestly, I don't remember but one thing that happened that affected us like immediately, and that was when Obamacare came out. When that was passed, it was like I remember getting a letter. My grandmama getting a letter. My mom used to help her with her medications and stuff, and hashing out the bills and making sure that what am I about to say? Oh yeah, making sure that they had the bill money, the medicine, and all that stuff. I remember when they had X amount of dollars set aside to get her medication. It was like the letter was like, because of Obamacare and the new care that she have, like most of her medications were like free or like $5 or $10. So like I remember, I again to this day benefit from Affordable Care Act, and that kind of goes back to voting. Like, look at the numbers. Look at the things that you have benefit to. Who's in the seat, what they're planning to do, and what's going to align with your values and align to the things that you want to see done. So because we're not talking about it, I believe that right now we probably going to lose some seats that benefits us because we're so casual about this voting. Case in point, Obama was elected for 8 years, and a lot of people say that Obama did nothing for black people in those 8 years. That's an arguable point, and my job right now ain't to argue that point. But my job right now is to allude to something that we didn't do. We did not we didn't have an agenda from a man, so we can't even say whether he came through for us or not, because we didn't say, hey, now that you're in office, this is what I need you to do. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, before I get into that, let's run the Use Your Voice clip from, I don't know what I named it. You know what I'm talking about? Just Go Vote. There you go. Run that.
I don't like how we've done the voting movement. Just go vote. That is a lie. It's a lie. It is. It really is. Okay, go vote is the equivalent of you telling a woman who's lonely, just go to the club and get you a man. I mean, that's a lie. No, you have to research, you have to get to know, this is hiring. You're hiring a person. These people are in these positions, getting those salaries, being the person that you have to interact with their office for 6 years, 4 years, 2 years. Ain't nobody elected for 30 days. You're gonna have to deal with these people. You know what I mean? And so voting is when you know what you want, you find out who's offering it, you let them know, sir, I want you to know that I remember you making this promise. And I'm gonna back you because I believe that's necessary for this community. And then when they're elected and they don't do it, you say, sir, I need you to know that me and my church, will never vote for you again. You know what I mean? Me and my neighborhood will never vote for you again, sir. Ever. I mean, that's where we stand right now. Unless you have some kind of Hail Mary to get to fixing our community or making good on the promise that you made us that caused us to vote for you right now. We're never voting for you again, sir. So you should. So I hope your arrears are in order in the private sector. Because what you did to us, we will let other people know what you've done to us. The promises that you broke to us, we will make sure that you do not continue to hold this position.
It's real talk. Like, so again, like just going to vote, just marking what abracadabra on your Scantron, like, is dangerous. Like, because the people that you put in office, just like I said, nobody's elected for 30 days. Like, you're going to have to deal with these people. Like, these are the people that's going to help you get XYZ, right? I remember when last time I talked about this with Derek Pugh, he talked about zoning and appeal. So he was talking about he was working on ordinances. And those of you that live in city limits, like you understand like holidays, like say for instance 4th of July, and people popping fireworks all time of day and all time of night, right? It's cool up until like 11 o'clock, but if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you still hearing fireworks, like it become a nuisance. Who do you talk to about that? Do you know who to talk to about that? That's your elected officials, because they can issue. Of course, you can call the cops, but remember, police officer is there to enforce a law. But if the law is not in place, if there's nothing that they can do, if there's no ordinance saying that okay, loud music or the fireworks have to cease at a certain time, people got the right to pop fireworks all night. So who do you see about that? You see your county council or you see your city council, so that they can get an ordinance passed and say that, X, Y, and Z need to happen at a certain time on holidays, weekdays, you can't do loud music after a certain time, parties, those kind of things, because you're disturbing the peace that's within that community. But if you voted for somebody who don't care about that, or this is what some of you gonna do. Some of you gonna not vote at all, but you can complain about these situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot complain when you haven't participated in the process. But then some of you could be like, I don't trust him. And I'm trying to pull up. I got it, but I don't have it at the same time. Let me see. This is the summary. Let me see if this is going to be. Oh, yep, this is it right here. All right, go to my laptop. All right, so these are some questions. Matter of fact, you remember the pip button? There you go. All right. So these are some of the questions that I sent out to help me with the research that I was doing for this documentary, right? And you can see the age groups. People under 17 was like, let me see. Nobody under 17 participated. Why? Because they can't vote. So I'm just sending people who were voting age. So most of this came from people that was 30, 39. That's actually my age group. All these people was registered. Now, question. Do you trust the democratic process? 32%. I'm around these numbers. 32% said yes. 18.5% said no. And basically 50% said maybe. Rightfully so, because there's layers to this democratic process, right? Do you understand it? Most people said yes, so that's 75%. have you experienced or heard of voter suppression? 35% of these people said no. The others said yes. And I'm going to get into that a little bit. Can I get to the individual responses? Oh, let's go here. Do you think your individual vote matters? 60% said yes, a lot. 35% said yes, a little. So most of you believe that, yeah, it matters, but some believe that it has more weight than others, which is, it is what it is. But what I really want to talk about is why. The why. Why do we feel this way about elections? Why do we feel this way about elections? Why do we trust it? Why we don't trust it? Okay, you can bring me back full screen, bro. And if you jump on here and want to talk about it, I got my screen right here, so I'm be watching for comments. So if you're here and you have a question or you want to comment, I will try to be attentive to what's happening on the screen. And I'm looking from Facebook, so if you hit me up on another site, then I may not see it right away, which I need to change that. Let me see if I can pull the rest of y'all up. But again, the thing is why? Like, why don't we trust the process? Why don't we trust what's happening politically? Because honestly, we as the black community is the only one that's really getting left behind in this whole process. And we the one that had to fight the most, to even have the process. Let me see if I can pull up this chat. Where is it? Okay. Well, I'm having trouble. All right, cool. Also, I need to double check to make sure. Is my stream freezing? Those of you that watching, is anything look like my screen is freezing up a little bit? Yep. So I'm gonna go off for a second, see whether we can fix the streaming issue, and then we can reconvene, because I don't want it to be skipping. Even if Marcus, I see you just popped on. It's skipping. Yeah, it's definitely skipping. So let's see if we can fix that issue, and then we can start. We can definitely start over real quick. So Marcus, you can confirm that the video is skipping. Yeah, I can kind of see it skipping. So let's go to take me off screen real quick. And you cut the mic off, and then we'll be back in a second, y'all.